Hi, today we are in the third lecture of Unit 2, and in this lecture you can able to acquire knowledge on differential scanning calorimeter. It is an instrument. So calorimetry experiments are measured and at constant pressure and at constant volume conditions. So it means to measure heat transfer during chemical or physical process. It is not directly measure the heat. So heat transfer is measured in terms of temperature changes. In calorimetric experiment, the heat lost or gained in a reaction is related to the temperature change of the calorimeter. Q calorimeter is equal to minus of Q reaction. As shown in the equation, the amount of heat released or absorbed by the reaction is exactly equal to the amount of heat absorbed or released by the calorimeter, except the opposite sign. In this calorimetry, we are studying heat flow and temperature. When heat flows into an object, it makes sense that temperature changes. How much the object increases in temperature is depend on its heat capacity. So from this we are coming to know the term heat capacity. It is a general definition for heat capacity and it is termed as C. The heat capacity is the quantity of heat required to raise the temperature of something by 1 Kelvin or 1 degree Celsius. And this is the formula Q is equal to C into delta T. The Q is the heat, C is the heat capacity, and delta T is the temperature change. Delta T is equal to TF minus TI, where TF is the final temperature of the object and TI is the initial temperature of the object. The next term is specific heat capacity. So here they are specifically mentioning the specific heat capacity is the quantity of heat required to raise the temperature by 1 gram of the substance by 1 Kelvin or 1 degree Celsius. Here they have taken 1 gram of the substance. So the formula becomes Q is equal to mCs into delta T, where m is the mass of the substance in gram, and specifically here they are taking 1 gram of the substance, and Cs is the specific heat capacity, and delta T is equal to Tf minus Ti. We know Tf is the final temperature of the object and Ti is the initial temperature. Again, the next term is molar heat capacity. Here they are measuring the heat capacity of 1 mole of the substance by 1 Kelvin or 1 degree Celsius. And the formula becomes Q is equal to N into Cn and delta T, where N is the moles of the substance, number of moles of the substance, and Cn is the molar capacity of the substance, and delta T is the temperature change of the object. Tf is the final temperature and Ta is the initial temperature. Next, coming to our instrument, differential scanning calorimetry DSC. Calorimetry may be conducted at either constant pressure or volume and allows one to monitor the change in the temperature as a result of chemical process being investigated. So here they are measuring the change in temperature. That is the main principle of this DSC. It involves the experimental quantification of heat released in a chemical process, either a reaction or in the conformational alteration. It can be used to determine the parameters such as heat of reaction, delta or H, which is changes enthalpy associated with the process of a chemical reaction. The enthalpy associated with the chemical reaction, here they are measuring delta RH. When the delta RH is negative, the process is exothermic. We know exothermic process or releases heat. And if delta H is positive, then it is endothermic process, and here it takes up heat for the process to take place. And from this temperature change, it gives some peaks, up and down peaks. From this, they are calculating the glass transition temperature, melting point, all those things. Differential scanning calorimetry is a specific type of calorimetry, and it includes both the sample substance and reference substance residing in the separate chambers. So in the sample chambers, they are having two samples column. One is for sample and the other one is for reference. Well, the reference chambers contains only a solvent such as water, etc. The sample chamber contains equal amount of the same solvent in addition to the substance of interest, of which delta RH is being determined. So what they are doing is, they are dissolving a substance in a solvent, and the same solvent they have kept it in the reference column. And they are measuring the temperature change for both the sample chamber and the reference chamber. The delta RH due to the solvent is constant in both the chambers, so any difference between two can be attributed to the presence of substance of interest. Again the same. So they are measuring the delta RH values between the sample and the reference column, by which they are measuring the glass transition temperature, melting temperature and boiling temperature. And this is the flowchart for our instrument differential scanning calorimetry. Here they've taken the reference, that is the solvent, and the sample with the same solvent, and it is kept in the heat sink. Here they are heating for maintaining the temperature. Here they have fixed the thermocouple, and all these things will be connected to the heat driver and the CPU. This is called differential thermograms. This is the result we are getting from the instrument differential scanning calorimetry. The output yielded by the DSC is called differential thermograms, which plots the required heat flow against temperature. The data analysis is highly dependent on the assumption of both the reference and the sample cells are constantly and accurately maintained at equal temperature. Both are maintaining the equal temperature, and they are measuring the heat change between the sample and the reference column. With the help of this equation, they relate the temperature and the enthalpy. dH is equal to integral of Tf Ti n into Cp into dt, where dH is the rate of the change in enthalpy, and Cp is the molar heat capacity of the calorimeter, and dt is the rate of change in temperature, and n is the number of moles of the materials, and Ti and Tf are initial and final temperature respectively. And this equation finally yield delta H is equal to n into Cp into delta T, where delta H is the change in enthalpy and delta T is the change in temperature. So with the help of DSC, we are measuring the enthalpy change of a protein during denaturation process. For example, if the experimental goal is to determine the delta RH of a protein denature process, the reference cell could contain 100 ml of water, and the sample cell could contain 1 gram of protein in addition to 100 ml of water. Therefore, the contribution of solvent to the heat capacity of the cell would be equal, and the only difference would be the presence of protein in the sample chamber. A protein can be changed its native state, in which it has a specific conformation due to non-covalent interaction, to the denatured state, which the characteristic structure is altered. Here at temperature 20 degrees Celsius, it is in the folded state, and it's at 90 degrees Celsius, it's converted its original state to unfolded stage, and it is a thermogram, and it is a TM, that is melting temperature. So here it is denatured from folded state to unfolded state. This is the expected question from this topic, thermal denaturation of protein from the differential scanning calorimetry. And this is a learning outcome. At last, you will be able to acquire knowledge on differential scanning calorimetry.